Hello everyone, we will continue on with our system that we built in the online classes, and we will create conditions for winning and for displaying winning screens. Okay, so to start this, the first thing I want to do is to create a variable that will determine the maximum score that or the target score. Okay, and this is all done within the game mode blueprint. So I'm going to add a variable, an integer variable. So an integer, and I will call this, let's say, target score or max score, let's say. Okay, now obviously what I want to do now is compare my current score, 1, 2, 3, depends on how many targets I hit, with the max score or my target score to create some kind of an event. So to do that, I need a comparison node. So I'm going to get my max score out here. So get max score, and I'm going to get my current score. So get current score, and now I need to compare them. Now I can do greater than, I can do less than, I can do equal. So the comparison is a mathematical comparison. I want to see if they're equal or not. So I'm going to say equal like that, and this is the node that will compare two numbers. Now if they are equal, and I haven't set my max score yet, but if they are equal, then we will generate some kind of an event. So I said if, which means I need an if statement, or as it's called in Unreal Engine, a branch. So here's my branch node. So if this condition is correct, is true, then I want it to do something. And that something for now will be print string. For now, I'm not going to do anything fancy, just the display on the screen. So print string, for example, you won, or something like that. Okay, and let's see the text color. Let's make it red, so it will show on screen. Okay, and that's it. The one thing I didn't set yet is I created this variable called max score, which was just to check my maximum score, check current score against it, and I haven't set it. So I'm going to compile this first, so I have access to the default value of this variable. So max score, the default value now is 0. I want the value to be 3 because I have 3 targets. Okay. So now it will check if it will say that if current score is equal to max score, then print string you won. Okay, and current score, as we said, as we did before, as we showed you before, current score will add 1 every time I hit a target, and so on from the previous video. So I'll run this, compile this, and save it, minimize it, play. Now what should happen is this: 1, 2, 3, and it says you won on the screen, which means now it's working. So now I can add an event, whatever that is, and the event I'm going to add is I'm going to add a blueprint widget that says you won. So to create the blueprint or the widget blueprint, I will go here and create a widget blueprint. You know how to do this. So widget blueprint, and I will call this my win screen, for example, end screen, windscreen, whatever. Okay, I'll make a very quick one. So you should be familiar with this. So I'm going to add a canvas first. You always need a canvas panel. So there, a canvas panel, and then it's very simple. I'm going to add a text block or text box. I'm going to add it here, and yeah, we'll just middle. Let's anchor this in the middle, and I will just zero out the alignment. Okay, so 0. Oh no, sorry, that was size. Oops, that was size. I'll keep the size as is. It's actually position X and position Y, so I'm going to zero these things out. Okay, so it will be right in the middle, and now I can move this on the X axis like that. Okay, so that's right in the middle, and that's bang in the middle. Now the reason, just to iterate, the reason why I put this here, this flower here, is for when the screen is resized, this will always remain anchored to the center. Okay, anyway, so instead of this saying text block, I will say this is U1. Okay, and what else am I gonna do? I'm going to increase the size to something, I don't know, something much bigger. Let's select the text. Let's select the text block. Let's select the text block, and I don't know, move it up here. Make this bigger, and then increase the size. Make this slightly bigger. Okay, so it will be this big. Okay, I don't want to waste much time on this. Okay, you know the drill. You can make this pretty. You can add shadows. You can add whatever. Just all these properties here. So I'm done with this. I'm going to compile this and save it, and that's going to be my basically the widget I'm going to display for winning. Okay, and let's see. So I'm going to go back to my game mode, and here, instead of print string, I'm going to disconnect this. So if true, we'll say create widget, and the widget is called, I think, what did I call it? Win screen. Yeah, that's the one. And I'm going to add to viewport, and I'll connect this to that, and now I can press compile and save. And now what I should get when I play the game is, instead of the red text appearing, let's grab that. Oops, did I grab it? Where is it? Ah, it's here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hey, you won. Congratulations. Okay. Now, one of the problems I have when I play this game is that, let's play it again, is that when I do this, okay, I won, I have no way of getting back to the game, so I'm just going to do a very quick fix for that. And that fix is going to be in the windscreen itself. I'm going to add a button. Okay, and this is very commonly done in these cases. I'm just going to add a button here, and I'm going to do the anchor. Where am I going to do the anchor? Let's do the anchor here. So this will always be anchored against that. just going to manually do this just for demonstration purposes. You can make this as pretty as you want. And text. I'm going to place the text inside the button. Okay, and as you can see, the text is now a child of the button here in the outliner. Okay, so wherever I move the button, the text will move with it. Okay, just make sure that this is the case. Anyway, so this text block, I want to say, I don't know, continue or something, or close or whatever. Okay, so we'll say, I don't know, close. Okay, so I have this button, and this button now needs some kind of text, needs some kind of code to get back to the game. But before that, I need to, let's compile and save this. Before that, I need to go to my game mode here, and if you noticed, I can't input anything. The screen just appears, and I don't have a mouse, so I can click on this button. Okay, so I need to get this mouse active as soon as this winning screen comes up on the screen. Okay, so here in game mode, as soon as this thing is added, as soon as this widget is added to the screen, I want to change the input mode. Okay, so this I will say set input mode UI only. Okay, which means the game behind the widget will not move. I will only have the widget. And something else I want you to see is this, the in widget to focus. If you have multiple widgets on the screen, and you can definitely do that, you want to set focus to one of them, so the input will only be in one of these widgets. So I'm going to connect this, let me show you this node, the windscreen widget to be the widget in focus. Okay, so this is nothing, it's just to input to input the thing in this widget. It would work either way, but if you have multiple widgets, this is best practice. Okay, and now what else do I need? The player controller. Somebody needs to input information, and in these cases you always need to get the player controller. In this case, get player controller, which is the default player controller. And something else, of course, is to set the mouse cursor, because now I can't see the mouse cursor. Everything is fine, but there is one thing left. I can't see the mouse cursor. And for that, I will go to what's it called? Show mouse cursor. If it doesn't appear, just uncheck this context sensitive menu and you should get it. So I don't want to get the state of the mouse. I want to set the state of the mouse to true. So show it. Okay, so set mouse cursor, and the mouse cursor needs to be controlled by a player. So get player controller here and set it to show. And now I'll just compile and save this. Of course, this is not complete. We'll just compile and save this and play. And the result so far that we will get is this. Great, I have a mouse, and the thing, the game is not moving, but I have a mouse. It says you won, and I have a close button that does absolutely nothing. Okay, so which is an improvement. So tell you what we're going to do. What we will do now is when the player hits this button, where is it going? Windscreen. When the player hits this button, let's restart the game. So reset the counter, restart the entire thing. Okay, and the command for this to restart the game is just open level. Okay, so on clicked, actually I should name this. Let's go back to the designer mode here, and I'm going to change this to restart button. Okay, it's better to name things than to keep them as button 77365. Okay, so look, we can do it to continue. So set mouse screen, remove widget, and so on. But what I wanted to do is for it to reset everything. When I wanted to, I wanted to reset everything. And in your case, this might be this button might be go to the next level, which means again the command is exactly the same, which is open level by name. Oh, I don't know what the name of this level is, so let me just check. So I will do that and go to maps, just make sure it's called first person map. Okay, so this needs to be input exactly the same. So first person map. Okay, so there, first person map. All right, it needs to be exactly the same, and it is sensitive to capital letters and small letters and stuff like that. Okay, so this is all this we will do. It will restart the level. Okay, now let's see what this does. So I'll go here, and since event begin play is here, well, there you go. So when I say open level, it goes back to event begin play. Okay, so event begin play here, I want now, so when the button is pressed, let's just recap. When this button is pressed, it will open the level. Okay, now just to be clear, when this widget appeared on screen, we had a mouse and we can click on the button. Once the button is clicked, I want it to start the level again and get rid of the mouse and set the input mode from UI only to game again. Okay, all right. Okay, so we will go here to event begin play and add what we need to do. So here we set input mode to UI only. I want to set it here, so set input mode game only. Okay, I'll just wire this in, and of course anytime I have an input, I need a player controller, so get player controller. And something else I need to do is get rid of the mouse as well, because the mouse now is showing, so I need to set it again. So just copy and paste this. Yeah, that was stupid. Okay, so we'll do that as well. I'll wire this in, wire that there. Okay, so now all of this is to just to get rid of the mouse and to get back to playing again. So show mouse cursor now to false. Okay, and of course, since I have an input, it's a mouse, I need player controller. Okay, let me just make sure that everything's correct here. Yes, okay. Okay, so now I'll compile and save this, and go and run the thing again. Where am I? Okay, so there. I won, mouse appears, game doesn't move, close, game starts again. Or you can go to the next level. Okay. Escape. Let's make the let's add a little thing. I just want to show you some things that you can add to your screens that will give some kind of user feedback, okay, which is important for your projects. So let's go to the designer here and the winning thing, and you can set all sorts of things with the background. So there are aesthetic things called, for example, background blur. Okay, and I'm going to drag this background blur just below the canvas, which means that this will not be blurred. So the text won't be blurred, the button won't be blurred, the text that says you won won't be blurred, but the game itself will be blurred. Okay, so I'll just make this as big as the canvas or the screen. And we have blur strength here, so I'm going to increase blur strength to, I don't know, something ridiculous, and we'll see what happens. I don't have any feedback here. Oh, actually we do. There. So this much blur, for example. Okay, cool. So 5 it looks like a nice value. Okay, this is just an example of something that serves as user feedback. Okay, so point is, you can explore this and work with all sorts of designs to inform the user of what is happening. Okay, so I'm going to compile and save this and run. Go grab that. 1, 2, 3. You won, and as you can see, you have a blur. It's not encompassing the whole thing. So I need to fix that. Actually, it will be. It's just because I am playing. I ran the game in the viewport, in the development viewport, rather than a standalone screen. So this works. This will work. There is no fix to this. Okay, but as you can see, you won, and you get this blur, and then close, and then the game starts again.